Think about the last time you were sitting in a dealership. You had done your research, you knew the monthly payment, you had the insurance quote, you felt like you had this completely figured out. What nobody in that dealership told you, and what almost no automotive content on the internet talks about honestly, is the number that will quietly bleed your wallet for every single year you own that vehicle after you drive it off the lot. Unscheduled repair costs. The money you spend not because you planned to, not because the maintenance schedule told you to, but because something broke, something wore out, or something the dealer could not explain just stopped working. Here is a number that should make every SUV buyer in America stop what they are doing right now. $652. That is what the average American pays every single year in unscheduled repairs and maintenance on their vehicle, according to RepairPal's database of millions of real repair invoices. Not scheduled oil changes, not tire rotations, unscheduled, surprise, come out of nowhere and hit your wallet when you were not expecting it. $652 a year times 10 years of ownership is $6,520 in money that vanished, not because you drove too hard, not because you bought used, but simply because you picked the wrong vehicle. And what most people watching this right now do not realize is that the repair cost gap between an average SUV and the best SUVs ever built is not small, it is enormous. It is the difference between a car that quietly serves you and a car that quietly drains you. Today, I'm going to give you the 6 SUVs ever built with the lowest confirmed repair costs on record, sourced directly from RepairPal's verified database, CarEdge's 10-year ownership data, and Consumer Reports' long-term reliability studies. And I'm going to save the most surprising one for last, because number 1 is a vehicle that most SUV shoppers walk right past on the lot, and that is costing them thousands. This is Atif Cars. Before a vehicle earns a spot on our list, we verify the data through RepairPal, Consumer Reports, CarEdge, Kelley Blue Book, and JD Power. If you are new here and you want content that protects your wallet every time you're about to make a car decision, hit subscribe and turn on notifications right now. Let us get into the countdown. Starting at number 6, and this first entry is going to surprise people who have never looked at the actual maintenance data, we have the Toyota 4Runner. On paper, the 4Runner is a rugged, body-on-frame off-road machine that most people assume would cost a fortune to keep running. Its old-school mechanical layout, a naturally aspirated 4.0-litre V6 with a 5-speed automatic, looks like a liability in an era of turbocharged crossovers. Here is the brutal truth about that assumption. It's completely wrong. According to RepairPal, the 4Runner's average annual repair cost is $514. That's $138 below the industry average for all vehicles. And here's the kicker. According to CarEdge's 10-year cost data, the 4Runner's total maintenance cost over a decade is $6,492. That's the cheapest 10-year running cost of every SUV on this entire list. Not second, not tied, the cheapest. That old-school mechanical layout that makes people nervous is actually the reason the 4Runner holds together so well. Less complexity means fewer components to fail. RepairPal also confirms that 4Runner owners bring their vehicles in for unscheduled repairs just 0.4 times per year, right at the industry average in frequency, but the average cost per visit is dramatically lower than competitors. One Reddit owner shared that they drove a 2001 4Runner Limited to 257,000 miles, and the most expensive thing they ever had to do was replace the alternator. Everything else was basic maintenance. 250,000 miles on an alternator replacement as the headline repair story. That is what engineering for longevity actually looks like in practice. The 4Runner is not the cheapest SUV ever built. It's the most mechanically disciplined one, and discipline is what keeps money in your pocket long term. Number 5 is the 3-row mid-size SUV that quietly beats every other 3-row on the market when it comes to repair bills, and it does it without making any noise about it. The 2026 Toyota Highlander. The average annual repair cost on a Highlander is $489, according to RepairPal. The average across all mid-size SUVs is $573. That $84 annual gap sounds small until you run it out over 10 years. It becomes $840 that stays in your pocket simply because you made one better choice on the dealership lot. But the money number is only part of the story. The Highlander's RepairPal rating is 4.0 out of 5.0, ranking it 7th out of 26 mid-size SUVs analysed. The unscheduled repair visit frequency is just 0.3 times per year, which is lower than the 0.4 average for the entire mid-size SUV segment. Toyota provides 2 years or 25,000 miles of complimentary Toyota Care scheduled maintenance on every new Highlander, which means for the first 2 years of ownership, your maintenance spend is effectively zero. And this matters for one reason that most buyers completely miss. The NHTSA gives the Highlander a 5-star overall safety rating, which means not only is it cheap to maintain, it is also engineered to protect the people inside it in the event you cannot avoid an accident. An auto industry expert at German Car Depot in Hollywood put it this way: the Highlander can surpass 200,000 miles with proper care. 200,000 miles, a 5-star safety rating, $489 a year in repairs. On paper, you might assume a 3-row SUV in this price range would be an expensive gamble. In reality, the Highlander is one of the safest long-term financial bets in the entire SUV market. Toyota does not build excitement, Toyota builds certainty, and when it comes to your repair bill, certainty is exactly what you want. Before we get into the top 4, which is where the data starts getting genuinely remarkable, do me a quick favor right now. If this kind of research is saving you time and protecting you from expensive mistakes, hit that like button. It takes 1 second and it helps this channel keep doing the work. Now let us talk about number 4. Number 4 is the SUV that RepairPal ranked number 1 out of 26 compact SUVs for overall reliability, and it still only costs $447 per year to repair: the Mazda CX-5. This is where the on paper versus in reality conversation gets real. On paper, Mazda is not Toyota, it's not Honda, it does not have the same brand recognition or the same sales volume. Most buyers shopping for a compact SUV start with the RAV4 and CR-V and treat everything else as a backup, and that assumption is costing those buyers. Here's what RepairPal's data actually says. The CX-5 holds a 4.5 out of 5.0 reliability rating, which is the highest of any compact SUV in their database. $47 cheaper per year than the Toyota RAV4, $174 cheaper per year than the $521 compact SUV segment average, and according to CarEdge, the CX-5's total 10-year maintenance cost is $7,906, which means over a decade you're spending less than $800 a year on everything. There's also a layer to this that purely financial data cannot capture. Mazda builds the CX-5 with a quality of materials and driving engagement that is consistently above what you would expect for the price. Car and Driver described Mazda as a brand that punches above its weight class. Edmunds reviewers repeatedly call the CX-5's interior the best of any compact SUV in this price segment. One owner with 94,000 miles on their CX-5 wrote online, "I have never had a surprise repair bill, not once. The car tells you what it needs, you take care of it, and it runs perfectly." That's not luck, that's what happens when you buy a vehicle that was engineered conservatively and maintained simply. The CX-5 isn't flashy, it's not the loudest name in the room, but in the spreadsheet of your actual ownership cost over 5 years, it beats nearly everything. Smart money does not always chase the biggest name. Sometimes smart money buys the brand that the data actually trusts. Number 3 carries the most famous nameplate in the compact SUV segment, and it earns every bit of that reputation with an annual repair cost that most owners never see coming until they look it up: the Toyota RAV4. At $429 per year in average repair costs according to RepairPal, the RAV4 ranks third out of 26 compact SUVs analyzed. The industry average for compact SUVs is $521. That means RAV4 owners are saving $92 every single year compared to the average compact SUV buyer without doing anything differently. Kelley Blue Book reports that the RAV4 sold 479,288 units in 2025, making it the third best-selling vehicle in America. That sales volume matters for repair costs in a way most buyers never think of. With nearly 500,000 RAV4s selling annually, parts are universally available, every independent mechanic in the country knows the platform, and labor rates for RAV4 repairs stay competitive because the supply of trained technicians is enormous. One owner who brought a 2022 RAV4 in for its 90,000-mile service reported that the technician told her the brake pads still had 40% life remaining, and the only thing due was an oil change and air filter. 90,000 miles, an oil change and an air filter. Consumer Reports has given the RAV4 above average or better reliability scores in every model year since 2012, with the exception of 2 years. That kind of consistency across more than a decade of production doesn't happen by accident. It happens because Toyota refuses to add complexity for the sake of marketing bullet points. The 2026 RAV4 starts at $31,900 and delivers 41 miles per gallon as a standard hybrid. When you combine a $429 annual repair cost with 41 miles per gallon fuel economy, the total cost of ownership picture for the RAV4 is almost impossible to compete with in this segment.
Number 2 is the vehicle that holds the single lowest average insurance premium of any car sold in America, according to a 2026 Insure.com study, at approximately $161 per month. And the reason insurance companies price it that low is directly connected to why it belongs on this list: the Honda CR-V. RepairPal places the CR-V's average annual repair cost at $407. That is $245 below the industry average. That is $114 below the compact SUV average, and it is $22 cheaper per year than the Toyota RAV4, which most people already consider to be a benchmark for low repair costs. Insurance companies are not sentimental. They price risk based on data, and the data tells them CR-V owners file smaller claims and need fewer expensive repairs than owners of virtually any other SUV. The CR-V's RepairPal rating is 4.5 out of 5.0. An auto industry expert quoted by Go Banking Rates stated that the CR-V provides reliable service over 50% longer than competing SUVs in its class and can reach 200,000 plus miles with basic maintenance. Honda also provides complimentary maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles on new models, further reducing what you spend in the early ownership window. The 2026 CR-V starts at $30,920 and was ranked the #1 compact SUV in America by Kelley Blue Book's 2026 rankings. 0 recalls on the 2026 model as of this recording. A Bankrate analysis separately ranked the CR-V as the second cheapest vehicle to insure in the country, behind only one other vehicle, and that vehicle, the one that finished ahead of the CR-V in real-world repair cost data, is also the same one sitting at #1 on this list, and it is an SUV that most compact SUV shoppers have never seriously considered buying. Wait until you hear the number on this one. Number 1. The most surprising entry on this list, the one with the single lowest confirmed annual repair cost of any mainstream SUV in America, is the Honda HR-V. According to RepairPal, the Honda HR-V costs an average of $301 per year in repairs and maintenance. $301. The industry average across all vehicles is $652. That means HR-V owners are spending $351 less per year than the average driver on this road. Over 5 years of ownership, that difference is $1,755 that stays in your bank account instead of disappearing into a service department. Over 10 years, it is $3,510. And CarEdge's 10-year total maintenance cost for the HRV, $7,479. That is $2,335 less than the average SUV costs to maintain over the same period, a figure confirmed in writing by CarEdge's own research team. RepairPal ranked the Honda HRV first overall across all SUVs in their comprehensive reliability analysis. Not first in the subcompact class, first overall, ahead of the RAV4, ahead of the Highlander, ahead of the CR-V. The vehicle that costs less to repair per year than any other mainstream SUV in America is a vehicle that most buyers dismiss as too small, too basic, or too unexciting. And that dismissal is why most buyers are spending hundreds of extra dollars per year they do not have to spend. The 2026 HRV starts at $23,650. It delivers up to 32 miles per gallon combined. Every trim comes with Honda Sensing, which includes automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, and adaptive cruise control as standard equipment. The interior has been praised by Cars.com reviewers as genuinely spacious for its footprint, with a second row that offers more legroom than some compact crossovers. Honda's Maintenance Minder system monitors actual driving conditions rather than using a fixed calendar schedule, which means you only service the car when the car tells you it actually needs it, not just because a date on a sticker says so. One owner with 88,000 miles on their HRV reported spending less than $2,200 in total repairs over 6 years of ownership. Not $2,200 a year, $2,200 total in 6 years. That is not an outlier. That is what the data predicts for this vehicle, and the data is right. Here's the verdict on the HRV and everything on this list. The most expensive car you can buy is not the one with the highest price tag. It's the one that keeps sending you repair bills you weren't expecting. The HRV has the lowest confirmed annual repair cost of any mainstream SUV in America at $301, and most people shopping for a new SUV this year will never put it on their list. That's their financial mistake to make. It doesn't have to be yours. So there it is, the 6 SUVs ever built with the lowest confirmed repair cost, built on real RepairPal data, CarEdge 10-year cost analysis, Consumer Reports reliability studies, and Kelley Blue Book owner data. The Toyota 4Runner at $514 per year, with the cheapest 10-year total ownership cost of any vehicle on this list at $6,492. The Toyota Highlander at $489 per year in the 3-row segment, 200,000 miles on proper maintenance. The Mazda CX-5 at $447 per year ranked number 1 out of 26 for overall reliability. The Toyota RAV4 at $429 per year, third best-selling vehicle in America with an unbeatable parts ecosystem. The Honda CR-V at $407 per year with the lowest average insurance premium of any vehicle in the country, and the Honda HR-V at $301 per year, the single lowest annual repair cost of any mainstream SUV on the market, and the vehicle that most people never seriously consider. Every source used in this video is linked in the description. Check the numbers yourself. Here's my question for you. Which one of these 6 surprised you most? Was it the 4Runner's 10-year cost being the cheapest of the group? Was it the HR-V beating every single compact SUV at number 1? Or did the CR-V's insurance data change how you were thinking about total ownership cost? Drop your answer in the comments right now. And if you already own one of these 6, I want to hear what your actual repair experience has been. That's the real data, and I read every single comment. That's it for today's breakdown on Atif Cars.